Hiya, I'm Rupert from the Kitesurf Centre, and today I'm going to be showing you how we can do a quick check over of our equipment and our kite and see if there might be any issues, and then later we'll be showing you how you can sort these out in some other videos. So first thing you're going to be checking out is the canopy. If you can get your kite pumped up, if it's fairly small, if you've got enough space for that, it makes it a little bit easier for all of these, but if you don't worry. So with the canopy, what we're going to be looking for is pinholes in it first of all, so that could be anywhere in this main section where you might be putting sand or stones if you're not doing things correctly on your kite. Easy way to do that is hold it up and then using the light we can then look up and look for any brighter sections, so that's going to be where that light's coming through. So you can see one little darker here, so that's the pinhole there. Other places you get them, where those inflate and deflate valves are around here, sometimes they can rub on your kite, you're rolling it up, and again the same with that one pump system is, especially if the neoprene cover isn't over it. Some of the more modern kites have patches and stuff here, but it's always good to check. You can see the tiny little hole there, so that's going to need patching up. So just small things to look for. Lastly, on the canopy side is the trailing edge. So when your kite is flapping a little bit, it does start to wear along here. So just look towards that trailing edge, you'll see these lines of wear. These can wear all the way through and eventually your kite will tear. So just look to make sure there's no parts there that are going to need repairing as well. Once you checked over the canopy, we're going to the leading edge. So first thing we're checking over is going to be the stitching. So that's this section here. We have two lines of stitching where your leading edge comes together and is folded and stitched over. If either of these have worn away from rubbing on the sand, etc., you'll find that it just splays out slightly. You shouldn't be able to see the leading edge and the canopy through it, and the bladder through it, but if it has egged out, then that's going to want re-stitching, so that's something to work on as well. Other things you want to look on that leading edge is where it's been on the sand. There might be some pinholes or some cuts, so look towards that. There's a slight mark here, obviously hasn't gone all the way through, so it probably won't want re-stitching, but a patch on that could be a really good idea. And then lastly, that leading edge is if it's been leaking. So if you pump up your kite and leave it, it wants to stay pretty solid for at least 2 hours really, because that's what our session could be. So that could be a pinhole in it, or quite often it's that inflate and deflate. So that's the valves, we're just using them to just stretch them slightly. So that's something that you can check on, putting some bubbly water on there, and that's going to be in a video showing you how to check over your leading edge and how we can repair those. Once you check the leading edge, we can go on to the bridles. So we can check on these. So first of all, you can check the actual bridle for wear. So often where the pulleys might be or the rings, you can look to see if there's a bit of wear. This is pretty good condition, this one. There's a slight wearing, but that's about it. Then you have the pulleys themselves. So sometimes you can get a bit sanded and then get a bit jammed up, to make sure that they're rolling correctly, that they're all cleaned. You can always give them a little grease up and things like that, depending on what type of pulley you have, to get that from working a little bit more. So that is the main parts there, and then lastly is our pigtails. So on that front and back bridle you've got the pigtails at the end, so just check, see how worn these are. These are often kind of some of the first parts that will wear on a kite, but they're very easily replaced. So that's something that we can just switch out and take off from there. So just check those over, make sure they're not too worn, that loops are all fine, and then it's ready to go. So that's how we can check over our kite, see if there's any wear and tear on it, and how we can sort this out while we're in lockdown. Go through it all. We're going to be putting videos together of each section, so if you do find pinholes in your leading edge, wears on your bridle or anything like that, we can get them all sorted out so it's ready to go once you're back out on the water.